Hello YouTubers, this is Cessnaace. Received another DVD in the mail today. This is take 4 or 5 or 6. I've had to redo it a number of times, so obviously it's already been opened. This DVD, by the way, although it originally came from India, I bought it from musicindiamovies.com, which is located in Hicksville, New York. Now, the film is a musical comedy that came out in India in 2007, and it's substantially a remake of an American comedy from 1963. The Indian film is Dhamaal, which was so popular when it came out that there is a sequel on the verge of being released, Dhamaal 2, which is supposed to come out in India mid-2011, so this year. Dhamaal is basically a remake of It's a Mad, 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 Mad World, directed by Stanley Kramer, although an unauthorized remake. Now, some time ago I found on YouTube a video that did a back and forth comparison between Dhamaal and It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. I should be able to find that, and if I do, I'll stick a link to it down there. Now this looks like a bare bones release from Shimmeru Entertainment. Never heard of them. But this is in widescreen, an aspect ratio of 2.35 to 1, enhanced for 16:9 widescreen televisions. It runs 131 minutes and includes a making of the film documentary, which runs 22 minutes. Kind of cool that they will actually tell you how long that runs. Also includes interviews with the cast and crew, and it has subtitles in English, Arabic, French, Dutch, and German. Now the audio is 5.1 Dolby Digital Stereo. This is an NTSC encoded for all regions. Now, It's a Mad, 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 Mad World was released on VHS and Laserdisc numerous times, and it was even released on DVD more than once. This is the 2001 release, and then it was subsequently re-released in 2003. This is the much harder to find version. It has a blue spine, whereas the more common 2003 release has a yellow spine. What's different about the two releases is that this one is a double-sided disc, and the release from 2003 is a single-sided disc, so it has artwork on one side. But that version is missing all of the extras that can be found on side 2 of this release, including an hour-long making-of documentary called something a little less serious, plus the 1970 reissue trailer, the original theatrical trailer, and let's see, language options, English or French, 5.1 surround, and subtitles in English, French, and Spanish. Now, the bonus features that are available on this DVD are all found on this. I consider to be the definitive Laserdisc release of this film. It was released numerous times on Laserdisc, on the magnetic video label, on the CBS Fox label, and so on. This version, like this DVD version, includes a lot of deleted scenes. However, on the DVD, they are in a section for deleted scenes, whereas for this restoration, director Stanley Kramer supervised the reintegration of 20 minutes of footage back into the film. Now, this film has been stripped of footage numerous times by United Artists, 5 at least. For years, it was rumored that the longest version, the director's cut, ran 5 hours. That was confirmed by Stanley Kramer's widow after he died. So hopefully somewhere out there there's a 5-minute version. Now, there wasn't much money available for this restoration, so the picture quality is of varying quality, which is why they didn't integrate the deleted scenes on this DVD. However, seeing them integrated into the film the way they were meant to be seen is, to me, worth it. Now, this has an all-star cast. Spencer Tracy, Milton Berle, Sid Caesar, Buddy Hackett, Ethel Merman, Mickey Rooney, Dick Shawn, Phil Silvers, Terry Thomas, Jonathan Winters, Peter Falk, Edie Adams, Dorothy Provine, Eddie Rochester Anderson, Jim Backus, Ben Blue, Joey Brown, Alan Carney, Barry Chase, William Demarest, Danny Devine, Norman Thel, Paul Ford, Sterling Holloway, Edward Everett Horton, Marvin Kaplan, Buster Keaton, Don Knotts, Charles McGraw, Zazu Pitts, Carl Reiner, Madeline Rue, Arnold Stang, Jesse White, and Jimmy Durante. Those are just the ones they list. There are also people like Jerry Lewis and Jack Benny, among many others. Howard Da Silva, who would later go on to play Benjamin Franklin in the musical on Broadway, 1776, and he reprised the role for the film version. A lot of cameos in this film, and really cool movie. Now, what I thought I would do is, since I received a couple of movies recently, and I've watched them, I thought I would do many reviews of them. First of all, we have Possession. This is a French-German co-production, although it was shot in English. This Laserdisc is a Japanese release. It retains the original English language track, has in-picture Japanese subtitles. Now, this film was one of the notorious video nasties, horror film that was banned in the UK. But it was only banned for about a year, but after it came out of its banding state and was issued on video, it was missing 30 minutes of footage. That version was also the version released in the US. Now, subsequent to that, it has been released, fully restored on DVD in the UK in 1999. But before that came out, the only way to have it uncut was this Japanese Laserdisc, which is also in widescreen. Now, this film, I must say, impressed me a great deal. In describing it, I don't know how to do it other than saying, imagine a film written by Wes Craven and directed by Stanley Kubrick. And that might get you part of the way there. There is a scene where I don't quite know what she's leading up to, but she gives Linda Blair in The Exorcist a run for her money. And that sequence, she's thrashing about and does an impromptu vomit sequence and so forth, is very long. And you keep expecting it to cut away or something to happen, but it keeps going and going and going. Now, one of the interesting things is, even though this was banned in the UK, while it was banned in the UK, it was being honored by the film industry. It was nominated for a BAFTA award. She won Best Actress at Cannes and Best Actress at the Caesar Film Festival in France. This film was directed by a Polish director working in France. This film was co-financed by French and German money, although it takes place in Germany. Right up against the Berlin Wall, because there are sequences, for example, where Sam Neill's looking out the window and he's staring at guards that are staring back at him, and they're behind the Berlin Wall, which of course is no longer there, but one wonders what they thought was going on as that was being shot. This film, as far as I know, is the first one to contain a self-mutilation sequence. Not only her, but Sam Neill gets into it and does likewise, although it takes him quite a while to get up the nerve. Now, on screen, the creature effects credited to Carlo Rambaldi, I believe it's pronounced, who did the creature effects, or did creature effects in Alien, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, and many other films. There are actually at least 3 versions of the creature in this film. And one sequence I can see why the British government wanted that taken out. Because it has her having intercourse with one of the versions of the alien or creature. A advanced version, but still kind of looked to me like a dog. But highly recommend this film if you're into horror films that, well, like I said, think Wes Craven, think Stanley Kubrick, and I think you might at least appreciate the effort that went into this film, and you might actually come away really liking it, as I have. Okay. Also, just yesterday received this DVD from Hong Kong. This is the film that started the whole Girls with Guns genre in Hong Kong, Iron Angels. This film is known by other titles such as Angel and Fighting Madam. In fact, the copy that I had already, still have on VHS, and I have it on DVD-R too from them, Video Search of Miami. That version, the label, it says Angel, but on screen it says Iron Angels. This one says Iron Angels on the case and everywhere else, but except on screen where it is called Angel. Anyway, this is an excellent film. Much superior version than the one that Video Search of Miami has. For one thing, that version is zoomed way in and crops off a lot of information. This is the full widescreen image. Also, that's English dubbed, whereas this lets you listen to it in either Mandarin or Cantonese with English subtitles. I chose to listen to it in Cantonese as that was the language it was filmed in. The subtitles, well, they're very legible, but they don't always make a lot of sense. Grammatical errors, that sort of thing. For example, one of the characters in the film is a CIA agent, and one of the characters says something along the lines of, well, the Americans is here. You know, that sort of thing. But if you can get past that, this has some amazing action sequences. The final fight sequence is just absolutely brutal. This is the film that caused me to fall in love with Moon Lee. This was a breakout film for her, and just highly recommend it. There's a brief English translation of the plot on the back, and it says simply, Interpol and Thai Army go on a joint mission to intercept the supply line of drugs in the Golden Triangle. The triads decide to revenge and send spies into the army to help assassinate officers in Interpol. The USA had to hire the Angels to step in. That's where the CIA agent comes from. Although he's only referred that way in the English dub version of the Video Search of Miami put out. On the in the subtitles, English subtitles, he's referred to as an agent of the American drug agency, or something weird like that. Anyway, the sequences where the Interpol police officers are killed are brutal, and then there is a massive and lengthy and awesome gun battle sequence involving about 50 submachine guns and helicopter and cars exploding and all this good stuff. And as I said, a really, really amazing final fight sequence. Now, this film was so popular in Hong Kong that it was the basis. Well, there were several sequels to this film and also numerous knockoffs. But this is the original Girls and Guns film. This is Region 3 NTSC. As far as I know, this is the only DVD version available, unless you want to go for the cropped version put out on DVD-R by Video Search of Miami. But there's only one slight problem with this release, and that's about a half a second of censored footage. In one sequence, she tries to distract Alex Fong, and she does it by unzipping and flashing her breast. That's cut out of this, so you don't really know why he's suddenly distracted. But overall, this is a much, much better presentation, and I would go with it. I got it from Yes Asia. It didn't cost me much, and highly recommend this film. And this will probably be the next one I watch. Until next time, stay awesome.